Alright guys, so as you can see, I actually got destroyed at the end, and the thing is, I think we just got a little exhausted, and that's why I didn't finish it. But my general thoughts on this before we actually go into each area, because you can see that I broke down each area and showed you my clear time, how long it took us to actually pass that area. Now, I was actually playing this chapter for an entire day, solo, and I think what I've learned after playing for an entire day, like Trouble at the Zoo and Welcome to the Jungle, I've actually discovered that this new nightmare difficulty, right? And I'm talking about this on brutal. I don't care about any other difficulty. I'm talking about brutal, all right? The thing is, with how the game is designed on nightmare difficulty, they actually changed a lot of things on the chapters. It's not just like the zombies that appear and when they do, and the zombies that appear together. It's more about redesigning the game, right? Because after I played this game, I've beaten the entire game on brutal 4-player setup, like excluding certain sub chapters, right? And that was a lot easier than this, right? So the thing with this new nightmare difficulty in its entirety, right, is it is very complex, and it's not designed to be, some of the chapters aren't designed to be played solo. Like, you can, but it's a lot to deal with, right? And it can get overwhelming. So playing on, and I will prove this in the next chapter on Welcome to the Jungle. So playing on multiplayer, which, you know, they limit it to only 2 players, it does make things easier, but it's still really difficult. So, but the thing is, having that 2 players together, you guys can actually make certain plays that you can't make solo, right? And I mean, like, it's really good. I mean, I love it. I think this is how the game should have been since day one. And but I just don't think that for the casual player you should go anything above maybe hard or medium. I'm not sure, because when you play on brutal nightmare, the game actually feels like a horde map, right? And the reason I say this is I don't like horde maps, and I don't like horde modes, right? I think it's just boring to me, right? And this is just my opinion. Now, the thing is, I love the campaign section, and nothing is wrong with how the game is right now, but on brutal, right, taking the game, my fastest time on Trouble at the Zoo was actually 25 minutes on 4-player brutal. And like, seeing how the game actually went from 25 minutes to an hour, right? And we actually played the game for longer than that. On solo, I played the game for an entire day. I was stuck like halfway. And then on multiplayer, I think we played the game for half a day, the chapter for half a day. And it was like extremely exhausting to go through some of the areas, right? Because you constantly get those hordes, and then after you get those hordes, you get that difficult part where, you know, you'd have the officers, or you would have, you know, heavies coming in. But the thing is, on a perfect run, you can go through all of that in probably like an hour. And that's the big point here. So it does become really exhausting, right? Especially if you constantly die. And what my biggest issue with Trouble at the Zoo when I first did it on solo is there were times when I went through the first area, and when you're going through the first area, you have to kill a certain amount of enraged zombies to get snipers to spawn. And after the snipers spawn, then you'd get the gunners. But the thing is, there were times when I played through that area for like 5, almost 10 minutes, and the snipers would not spawn, which would force me to restart the checkpoint. And if you guys want someone to confirm this, you can ask Bunk Smuggler, because he played with me the first night, and then, you know, he got, you know, exhausted, and then I played it for the entire day the next day, and it got really exhausting. And it was mostly because I had to restart the checkpoint because of the bug, right? Now, I didn't experience this with Pat, and I think that was really good, because it allowed us to, you know, play through more, get some ideas like when we die, and we can actually do a better playthrough. So we did some really good playthroughs, and in the end we actually did really good. So the thing is, with Trouble at the Zoo, with nightmare difficulty, this is an entire redesign, and what makes it so different, what makes this a new game, is because before, on any other player setup, you can actually just go through the areas, speedrun the areas, and you can leave the zombies and fight them at the end, right? Because you can't beat this chapter without killing all of these zombies. No matter where you go, they will chase you, right? So you were actually allowed to have free access to go wherever, speedrun the generators. But on nightmare difficulty, right, or nightmare setup, what they did is now you're actually locked into 6 different areas and you're forced to fight these monsters, right? And that's what make it so difficult. Then when you add brutal difficulty to this, you're actually talking about the zombies having more health. You're actually talking about getting one hit by everything, because you get one hit by suiciders, you get one hit by butchers. The zombies, the shooter zombies, heavy shooters, actually seem like they're more accurate than before. So you actually die really fast if you're too exposed to them. So the breakdown is as follows. When you get to the first area, right, when you first start out, you actually have to kill a horde of enraged zombies. Now the grunts aren't important. Once you wipe out the enraged zombies, you will get the snipers to spawn. When the snipers spawn, the gunners will actually spawn at the same time. Now the reason why I told Pat to stay at the top are Pat had an idea to stay at the top, right? And he just wanted to provide some support, because when we're both down in the pit, we actually get like pushed really hard, and sometimes we lose, like we die unnecessarily, right? Now Pat stayed behind because it was easier to just take picks and kill certain zombies. And the thing is, when you also stay at the top, you can actually stop the gunners from coming down, right? So Pat stayed at the top, he killed the gunners, and he was also able to kill the snipers as well with the weapon attachments that we had. That was really good. Now after you kill the gunners, the officers will spawn, right? The officers, and you will also get 3 butchers. Now you get 2 commanders and like 4 or 5 necromancers, right? If you don't get rid of the commanders, you will get more than enough enraged zombies to kill you, and if you don't kill the necromancers, they will constantly revive the commanders or the zombies that you kill, while having enraged zombies and 3 butchers pushing you at the same time. It's fun, but you can deal with it. All right, the next area you go will be right where you would trigger the grenadiers. The next area will be where you trigger the grenadiers. When you get here, you will fight a horde of creepers, and you know that if you stay in one place, you will get surrounded and you will die, because these guys, you can't do anything once they surround you. So you fight a horde of creepers and you fight 4 grenadiers. I think 4 grenadiers spawn. You will get 3 flamers and 3 gunners, right, as well as suiciders. Once you kill these guys, you go to the next area, which is right across the hallway, where you can get that Easter egg. At this point, you will fight a horde of zombies, and when you fight this horde of zombies, you will trigger 4 I think it's 4. It's 4 necromancers and 1 suicide general, right? So the thing is, if you kill all of these immediately, you will trigger more suicide generals. So the best thing to do is actually to kill at least 2 of the necromancers and the suicide general. Then you should back off, kill the flamer who is actually coming up, right? Because when the flamer gets here, he's very intimidating and he's annoying. So get rid of him, and then you kill the other 2 necromancers. When you kill these 2 necromancers, you will spawn 3 or 4 suicide generals and 1 necromancer, right? Should be really fun. You get 1 shot if you allow them to actually raise the suiciders. But you know, clear that area, go to the next one. In the next area, you close a rift and you kill 3 snipers, 3 or 4 snipers, I can't remember. This checkpoint will take you all the way underground, where you activate the first or deactivate the first generator. When you do this, you will have a suicide general inside, and you will spawn a commander. At the top of this area, 1 commander will respawn like 3 times, which is super annoying. I think you saw that in my last video. Now this checkpoint will actually go all the way to the inside of the cages, because you're actually locked into each one of these areas, right? You can't just speed run or pass them. The clouds come up and you're locked in. Now you go to the next area, you deactivate a generator, you will get one butcher, two rifts, one suicide general, one commander, and one gunner, as well as a few enraged zombies and what you call those, suiciders in the mix, and grenadiers. It's fine. Take care of that area. You go to deactivate the last generator, which is really easy, and then you go inside the pit. Now inside the pit is where all the trouble started. So what you'll get is actually 4 necromancers. Now the necromancers aren't the problem, as well as a ton of enraged zombies. They're constantly going to be jumping down into the pit, which is like super annoying because you're constantly getting rushed down. Now the necromancers, you need to get rid of them, right? Because if you don't get rid of them, more will spawn with them, right? So 4 becomes 8 and so on. That's not the only problem. If you don't get rid of them, they will shoot you, and when they shoot you, they do a lot of damage and you get killed really quickly. You don't have spitters in this area, thank god, but you will get 2 butchers. They spawn 1 at a time. After the 2 butchers, now trust me, in this area the blood fountain takes forever to get filled, right? It takes forever, and you constantly have to kill the necromancers because, like I said, you don't want to get shot by them. Now when you kill these necromancers, more will spawn, because more spawn, the more zombies you kill, right? Now the thing is, the algorithm can be weird sometimes, because sometimes they spawn faster, sometimes they spawn slower, right? You don't know what will happen, and that's what makes it so difficult. So you can actually kill these necromancers, kill a few zombies, they spawn again, go around in circles, you kill them again. And we killed up to like 3 or 4 spawns, right? And sometimes they even spawn more, because sometimes you get 4, sometimes you get 5, right? The thing is, if you leave the bodies on the ground, because you have to get rid of the bodies, if you leave the bodies on the ground, those guys will get respawned by the new necromancers, right? And that is a part of why it's so frustrating. Now the thing is, after you get the blood fountain to halfway, you will get new zombies. You will get enraged zombies, you will get suiciders, you will get creepers, and now you will also get gunners, right? So it's not that this chapter is impossible or anything, it's just that you need to be patient, right? It took us like 6 minutes to get the blood fountain to like halfway, and you just need to be patient with it, right? Unfortunately, it feels like a horde map to me, and I'm not that patient with it, right? Now, we are committed to finishing the series on Brutal Nightmare, so I will continue to do my best, guys. Probably won't beat all of them, but you guys probably can expect a breakdown video like this one, alright? So, thank you guys for stopping by and listening to me, and please have a great day, alright?